Hi everyone, this is Isabel and I'm back with another video. This one is definitely different than the ones I have been doing. This one has nothing to do with teaching or with technology. This is all about one of my favorite things to do. This is a combination of scrapbooking, bookbinding, and journal writing. This is my travel journal for the summer of 2016. We went on a road trip to national parks in the Wyoming and South Dakota areas. I like to prepare journals whenever we go on these road trips that take several days. I usually prepare them in advance so I can just take it with me and journal at the end of the day. If I don't journal right away, I will forget what is happening. Pictures are then printed when we get back. I have to say the hardest part about keeping road trip journals is making the time to develop or print the pictures. This is one of my favorite road trips that we have taken as a family. My boys were so young and didn't know much about video games. That's all they want to do now, but that's another topic for another day. This is a recycled book that I covered with wrapping paper and then applied Mod Podge. The binding is waxed linen thread. This type of binding is called saddle stitch binding. I make all sorts of journals, but this is my favorite. They are very sturdy, and if the thread comes undone, they are easy to fix. There are several layers of paper on the cover. I inked and distressed all over the edges of the journal itself. The journal ended up being really full. The journal includes a lot of spaces for journaling. There's pre-bought envelopes with cards inside. I also fold paper over the front and back of the sheets to make pockets. I like to keep receipts or buy postcards. As I'm writing, I'm able to keep the journaling cards, receipts, or postcards safely in the pockets. All the flags are mostly scraps that I keep in a basket that I'll show at the end of the video. I make the flags to write titles or dates or just to embellish the page. Because I sew the flags, I'm able to tuck in journaling cards or pictures. As you can tell, I do a lot of writing. Some of the writing is done directly on the page itself, but usually that's done once I have the pictures printed or developed. On the trip itself, I mostly just write on the journaling tags. Some of the tags I have made myself or I have downloaded off the internet from others who have shared their stuff. Other embellishments I use are ribbon and washi tape. Washi tape is really good to hold the pictures in place. I also use brads to hold stuff in place. In this journal, I use it as the center of flowers that are back to back on the page. I also use my stapler to staple ribbon or paper on the pages. The biggest embellishment I use is thread. By that I mean I sew mostly everything in place. There is some glue here and there, but for the most part, I have sewn mostly all the flags and pockets. I love the look of the thread on the pages, and of course, as mentioned before, the whole spine is sewn. If you'll notice, you don't have to have fancy equipment of any kind to make a journal that can hold your memories. All of the flags I hand cut depending on the width and length I wanted them to be. It also depended on the scrap itself. The pages to the journal is scrapbook paper. Paper is definitely something you can't get away from using, at least for me anyways. Some of them are double-sided, some are blank on the back. The bones of the journal is a recycled old book. The journal has 2 signatures. Each signature has 6 sheets for a total of 12 sheets. Some of the pages have paper sewn to it for extra pages. The journal ended up having 52 pages back and front. As you can tell, I wrote and filled it with words and pictures on most of the pages. When I find a good strong old book, I use it. I modify the paper to fit the book. So because of this, I may need to cut paper to fit the book. I don't mind doing this since I keep all my scrap paper and use it at other times. I wanted to show you examples of how the books look before I start writing in them. These 2 books I'm showing are books that I haven't used. This is how they look before I start putting my words and pictures. The green one, I glued some map tissue paper, then painted it with acrylic paint. All the paper is the same for the sheets and for the tabs. It's really pretty and the paper is thick. I haven't figured out how to use it yet. The beige one, I painted acrylic paint directly on the book itself and used stencils. As you can tell, all 3 journals that I have shown look slightly different. That is because these types of journals are called junk journals. Whatever I have on hand or anything that I like, I place in them. I buy journaling cards, envelopes, and paper on sale. I even buy planners or calendars that are out of date, if I like the colors or graphics on them. I'll cut up the quotes or lined boxes and use them later for these types of junk journals. I then put them together to match up with whatever theme or topic I'm making my journal on. It really depends on my mood when I'm creating these journals. That's why they're called junk journals. I really enjoy putting together a journal from scratch. I'm not very creative, but this allows me to create something that came from my little brain. When I begin these types of journals, I really have no idea what it will look like in the end. I just know that I will love it because it is unique and handmade. I hope you enjoyed seeing my travel journal. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer them. I have been scrapbooking and journaling for years now. I enjoy looking back and reading the stuff that I write. I tell my boys that when I die, they need to go and read my stuff. There they will find my thoughts on almost everything, especially my love for them. That's it for now. Until next time, bye.